Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of my Macedonian campaign. I believe that this is episode 12. So we're actually starting to get quite deep into the campaign. And frankly, that's not surprising. We just toppled Rome and we are en route to finishing the Romans off as far as reliever possessions in Italy are concerned. We have one more settlement in Italy proper, and from then on out, we're going to be confined to south of Magna Graecia in Sicily and in Africa. Simultaneously, we've strengthened our alliances elsewhere across the map. We've bred truces with the Pergamese, with Rhodes. We're developing a rather strong and prominent army over here in Macedonia, really just a product of our second-class population getting large. Just in general, things are good, things are going well, and I'm hoping that that will continue as we're strategically maneuvering around and really just trying to consolidate our gains since we've gone to war with Rome. Now, one thing that is going to be quite important is, one, I'm not going to actually develop this building, so I don't think I will. I do want to wait for war horses so I can actually build this here. So I think that that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait for horses. And I'm going to have to build them here, I believe. Now for this army, I actually want to go to Thrace, and I want to see what's going on over here. I wanted to recruit 2 of these Thracian warriors at least. And I wanted to go back to Macedon, and I want to recruit one of these Tarentine cavalry. Otherwise, I wanted to go around and upgrade every one of this particular type of building because it's just a good thing. Like, it's going to help with sanitation. Well, actually, it is going to decrease food. Just definitely a negative. Right now, it's spring. We only have 16, so perhaps it would not be prudent for me to decrease this substantially. Although this will improve food and this will decrease food, so why not? We can just upgrade those 2 buildings simultaneously. And what about this? Go ahead, get the farming bonus one. And yeah, I mean, that's quite a solid amount of growth in this turn. Don't really think that there's much else that we can do over here in Thrace, nor over here in Latium, in my opinion. Well, nothing that's desirable anyway. And, you know, frankly, we did want to go to war against Mid-Helene, so let's get a couple of armies ready to do so, or rather, one more army ready to do so, and I think we'll keep my faction leader, you know, towards the south here. One of the weaker armies should go fight against Mid-Helene. And this army just has weaker army all over it, man. It's absolutely all over it. Go ahead and do that. Now this army will go and help take Cassentia. You know, once we take Cassentia, we'll wait a turn and then go on and attack this rebellious army. So we really won't have to wait too long to move his army up north. And then we'll keep our general over here because he is retaining troops right now, and I would like that to happen. But also, considering that this is like a weaker army and this is one of our few champions, I don't think that we should really waste an agent on such a weakling of a military. Perhaps instead we should go and bring this army down, this guy down south. I'll go help you know, an army that's a little bit weaker. Okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and play this battle. I think that that's probably the best thing that I can do. Because the thing is that this army, it's not a particularly strong one. It's not a particularly challenging one to topple. It's your typical Roman garrison. I've been slaughtering them all campaigns. So why have fear? Why have any reservations? We can plant our pikes, array them in a fantastic line. my White Shield infantry. They aren't like extraordinarily great troops. They are levy tier, but for a levy that at this point the state has taken interest in. They're uniformly armed with Freo shields, with javelins, and I mean, frankly, they look cool. They have the same stats as like lower tier like Thracian troops, like early game Thracian infantry, but you know, with 10 armor, 10 melee attack, 10 melee defense, like these guys are okay. They'll absolutely perform well against Roman militia troops, especially because if they do have 225 men, if they weren't an oversized unit that had 225 men, I would honestly be a little bit skeptical about using them, but because they have so many men, I don't have any qualms. They are pretty solid. They aren't great, but they cost third population. And, you know, they'll throw a volley of javelins and give a quite mighty charge and penetrate through armor, so they're capable of killing both lower tier and higher tier troops. Of good melee attack and melee defense, so they're not utterly feckless at combat. And we're going to support my pikemen well, who are a stable core to this army and highly experienced due to the temples I have in Macedonia. But anyway, let's just continue to push forward. This army is going to do all right. It's kind of like a middling army, but I built it based off of like the value I kind of assigned to it. Like I felt like it's generally just a good, solid army. Not the best army ever, but just, you know, an army capable of holding its own, and one that won't be easily routed, but not a powerhouse army either. Enemy general charged forward. I'm going to go ahead and countercharge along the line with my Thracians. I think that that's probably the best use for them. Go ahead, send my general off to the flanks. We'll go send a Thessalian, 2 Thessalians off to the flanks as well. I don't think that this Italian town guard is going to be particularly capable of withstanding the aggression of all of my Thracians. Meanwhile, my archers are going to offer excellent cover fire. My men are going to be obliterating the enemy. The Roman skirmishers, they're merely slingers, so we should be able to kill them quite quickly once we get our cavalry into them. There we have it. 222 men surviving in this Thracian unit. I mean, it is like a Macedonian unit, but it's supposed to be full of like Thracians, Epirotes, you know, men who would have not been too foreign, but still foreign to the Macedonian populace, which took on a more Hellenistic gait. Still kind of a familiar people, you know. They would still be able to hold status in Macedonian society, just not the highest of statuses. Kind of the type of men that would be making up the White Shields here. A militia. It's well equipped and capable of gutting Roman defenders, as you could see, just eliminating men who would otherwise be dangerous to my regime once it takes over. Man, my general killed 337 men. That's the power of one of these Macedonian elite cavalry units, man. Just crushing. Just all-powerful. Destructive to the maximum. But this army was new to the field and it performed well. My White Shields came in and diced the Roman garrison. My archers managed to pick their targets well and earned many valuable kills. The general charged in really just ran amok amongst the defenders of Cassentia. Well, we'll loot this settlement for... There's currently a rebellion brewing. Okay, we'll go ahead and build a couple of things, and yeah, there we have it. Now, I'm gonna go and get this army to get quite close, and yeah, I'm quite sure that this is enough for this turn. Very sure about that, actually. Maybe I do want to... it's only 1 food, so I'm gonna upgrade the Roman salt settlement. I mean, why not? It's barely anything. Alright, let us commence to the next turn. The Romans, of course, ooh, they are trying for my navy. Now, are these actual Roman fleets? They all are Roman fleets, so I'm just wondering, if I run away, will the Romans be able to chase, or will their fleets not have the movement capacity to reach me? Because, well, looks like we're able to go quite far. The Romans, it does look like they are going to challenge me for control of Cassentia, which frankly, I believe that they should. Why wouldn't they? I just took the settlement, but they have an immense military buildup that they probably can't even afford at Syracuse. But we might as well try to reclaim some territory, especially because my forces aren't exactly concentrated around Cassentia. It's not like we're going to hold it no matter what. And given that Africa is my next target, I have no intention of making more enemies amongst, or rather any more friends amongst the African nations that are very closely aligned to Carthage. I just don't really care, to be honest. They aren't really people I'm going to be at peace with for very long, because the moment I attack Carthage, and I will attack Carthage, I'm going to be at war with them anyway. Okay, it looks like the Romans have suffered a defeat over in the north. Nice. Any loss to the Romans is a gain to me, and yeah, we can kind of go ahead and have this guy join up. We will fight that battle, and I will send my general, or rather my faction leader, over to Magna Graecia to try to inspire some sort of loyalty in the Greeks. Now, I do want something that's going to help, defeat banditry a little bit. And you know what? This building chain absolutely will. So let's go for civic.
Ready for battle.
And let's go and fight. Wow, I am honestly surprised that these rebels were willing to stand and fight, because we could have just run away a bit. But I assumed that they were a little bit worried about running away towards Rome, where they would have had to fight against a bigger garrison than the 1,400 men of this settlement. I forgot its name, but in any case, it doesn't really matter. Either way, these rebels are going to be confronted by an elite army of Macedonian hoplites, of Macedonian pikemen. You can see the dense ranks of awesome troops. A couple of units of well-experienced slingers, are quite nimble and accurate. Some Agrionian mercenaries who have 2 cold experienced chevrons and are just brutal in melee combat. These guys are hardened killers. It's a very experienced Peltis, who are capable of also doing a similar task, and a lot of cavalry. I have a ton of cavalry here, and this Italian army that I'm facing off against also has a lot of great cavalry, so to be honest, I'm pretty happy that I'm going to be able to at least compete on the cavalry front, because that's our greatest asset. My infantry will obliterate this Italian Samnite army, just destroy it. You know what, I forgot to issue a command to my Agrionians. Let's just kind of get these axemen to go forward. Not my Agrionian Peltis, by the way, my Agrionian sellswords, who are a bit more, orientated towards conventional combat, one might say. We're going to be more effective in a long-term melee engagement. I'm just wondering where the enemy lies. There we go. Let's go ahead and get a little bit close here. Just kind of assembling my ranks here. Man, it looks like the enemy is just streaming forward, but they aren't really all that concerned with stopping. So I do need to just kind of get ready to intercept my foes. Where are the rest of my hoplites? Slingers do need to go back. Okay, gonna have to form up this flank. Yeah, really have been slow to form here. But we do have to get our pikemen to start forming the phalanxes. We can't continue in such a disorganized mass. Just form up upon the hillside, my men. Already the enemy are crashing into us, but my pikes are going to eventually repel this cavalry, and they are assembled at this point. They're poking and prodding and jabbing and killing the elite riders of Italy. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go and just attack. Just continue to charge along this flank. Gonna have these Agrionians charge down one of the enemy spearmen.
Heavy cavalry ready and willing. Quickly now. Missile infantry ready. Proud sons. Orders. Run shield pikes. Commander. Yes, commander. Ready and waiting. Yes, commander. Sarissa cavalry. Your orders. Light hoplites. Sarissa cavalry.
Okay, so far so good. Ooh, on this flank, we've absolutely annihilated the enemy cavalry. My Agrionians are chopping through the enemy Hastati Italica, and they only have 20 armor. No wonder they're getting obliterated by far more vengeful warriors than themselves. Do see an Equite gonna try to do something. We'll get two Sarissa cavalry and the hoplites on them. My general is gonna continue to spar against the remaining cavalrymen who are already in that one unit. Just been engaged for a while. Okay, my general's already won on this flank. Meanwhile, it really does appear that the enemy cavalry has gotten beat here. The generals hit another Equite. Yeah, they're doing a lot of damage. And the enemy generals also caught some enemy infantry starting to rout, and we're already seeing some enemy skirmishers starting to break, actually. Starting to charge forward. At this point, I am just gonna start going for it, because, like, why not? I mean, these are Velites who are left. They're not exactly the best troops in the world. Enemy general should be toast quite soon. Got my general to just hit an enemy unit that's routing. Really cannot possibly endanger the important men of the squadron. Okay, then we'll have my squadron charge over. And scene. My general literally just hit these guys. He's already killed like 50 or 60 men. Yep, at this point, he's just chopping through like arbor. He's just chopping through absolutely demoralized and broken men. So there we go. The Samnite rebels, they've been repelled. I didn't really expect them to put up much of a fight. But those pesky javelins, they can do damage. Now, I did but like I could have been more sacrificial with my cavalry, and that would have saved some of javelins from getting kills. But instead, I had to fight the enemy cavalry, and when the enemy has like 5 or 6 cavalry units, your men are going to be wrapped up for a little bit. But my light hoplites did great supportive work on my flanks. In any case, the rebellion is over. And, well, frankly, it's going to leave Magna Graecia in a pretty bad state, but eventually this province will amount to something. What I want to do is send this army north to Italia, a province that's already been in my control for a little bit and seems to be on the rise. Okay. I mean, I'm quite happy that this army is already improved a little bit. But now that this force is at 10 troops, it's time to start getting some better units. And one of the things I did want to do is go into settlements that weren't as important as Pella, right? Basically non-Pella. Just grab some of the nobles that have accumulated here. There's a lot of Eugenies in Athens. It just... Actually, you know what? I could get some Athenian troops, potentially. But in any case... Ooh, we got 3 Ajima. That's crazy. Totally worth 3 Ajima. Okay, so I guess that's kind of all that we're going to do this turn, right? I mean, if I improve this, it's going to increase bandage rate. I'm not willing to do that. This will decrease food and stuff, and honestly, I kind of do have to wait for a bunch of buildings to finish before I keep on decreasing my food supply. I guess with Roma, there are different options here. This is the lowest on food, also increases banditry a lot, but does increase subsistence a lot. I mean, commercial Rome is crazy. Fortified Rome is also crazy. I mean, to be honest, like, we probably will have a lot of banditry, so let's just go for fortified. Alright, there's somebody who can get an upgrade. Ooh. And you know what? Where is my other spy? And you know what? This navy should go to Apollonia.
Ready for orders. Ready.
My skills are yours. Swift and silent as a shadow.
Okay, next move. The Romans have been duped. We've taken Cassentia. Italy is on the rise. My other provinces are getting more and more prosperous as we meticulously improve conditions by building things and paying for upgrades. My army that's recruiting in Macedon is getting more and more elite as well. Quite happy about now. Even though I do have some agreements with the Carthaginians, I plan on breaking them. So no more agreements with African factions. I'm only willing to consider
Your wisdom
agreements with factions that aren't in my way. I need to take Africa in order to win this campaign. So what's the point of getting closer to Carthaginians when war with them is my next plan once I'm done with Rome? Plus Rome's already in Africa, so it just makes sense for me to head in that direction. Just goes with the general lore of this campaign, I suppose. We will work on, you know, just subjugating some factions in the north type of thing. Nervi and... Ooh, okay, that's interesting. 2 kind of northern underdog factions getting together. It's not really my cup of tea. Yeah, always pay to upgrade the temple. Just why not? That's why you have a temple, because the temple offers some pretty agreeable bonuses. Actually going to increase food, but it's going to lower public order and increase squalor. We can definitely afford it.
Ready for battle. Ready for battle.
I wonder whether having this army garrisoned will decrease public order anymore.
Burn it.
Yeah, it definitely will.
At your command.
Now, I wonder whether being at war with the insurbs is something I can do.
Welcome, worthy friend.
Okay, it looks like that wasn't exactly the best thing to do diplomatically, but still acceptable.
Ready for orders. Make haste, men. Is that all? Faster, catch you all. Ready for battle.
Okay, that's acceptable. Meanwhile, there's really nothing I want to do against the Romans just yet. But I am happy that
We hunger for battle.
nothing bad has happened yet. No confrontations that I can't win.
Ready for orders.
And what about this army? Larissa, we did destroy the Chinese population, jeez. I mean, I really do want to research this. Like, this is a super useful technology. But nothing here is, like, insanely useful other than this building chain. But it's kind of expensive to get into.
Ready for orders.
I do wonder, though, like, whether it's going to improve my first-class recruitment. Because I do want to improve that particular thing. Let's see whether I can check them out over here. See, that's the thing. Like, I can't even get the first one. So it's like... Aw. Okay, well, guess it doesn't really matter too much.
For battle.
But yeah, in Apollonia, I did want to also get some Eugenies.
At once. You have further orders. Sign up, lads, for a good and glorious life.
Get 2 Royal Peltis and another Ajima. What a fantastic army this is going to be. Okay, let's just continue to upgrade this. Continue to work towards having war horses here. We can definitely... We could definitely upgrade some things. Yeah, here in Rome, this is what I was considering. You're increasing squalor by 1, you're minusing food by 1. But so many benefits, like, absolutely I want to do this. Perfect. Alright, next turn. We've made all of the decisions that we want to make. We are continuing to invest in our territory. And we're kind of just stalling now that we have taken all of southern Italy. Because I just expect us to be significantly more wealthy than the Romans now. So it's like, can play for time. But also, dang. Rhodes was taken. Oh, I'm seeing a Ptolemaic assault here. We're not the only strong successor kingdom in this region anymore. Oh, there's a new player in town, and his name is Ptolemy. Ooh. Well, that Epheso settlement, I think I can set up some trade agreements with it, but who knows how long that tiny faction will last. Now, I'm gonna wait till the spring to go to war against the Insurd. So they have one turn. Never intimidate opposition. Ooh. Wait a minute, Hero is a daughter? Hold up, I thought Hero was a guy! Oh no. Well, I was actually gonna... guys, like... that's gonna get interpreted wrong. It's not that I'm upset that they're a daughter because of anything. It has to do with real life. I just wanted to use this character as a general. I just wanted to use him as a general in this game. But anyway. Send him to Magna Graecia. He'll acquire some skills over there by hosting some games. And yeah. It'll hopefully lead to them having enough gravitas to get married. Don't believe that there's any... Oh, actually, this Macedonian noble will empower them by allowing them to get married. And right now, politics are rather balanced. I don't really see any trouble or any problems. But yeah, without Hero... I'll go and take a royal squadron into this army.
Ready for orders.
Okay, this one's going to help agricultural wealth, so I'm going to go for that. For here in Cassentia, I wanted to do the military building, because this helps decrease banditry. Go for the thing that increases food. And, well, I don't really know why. Don't really need recruitment. Just like a sacred grove. It's fine. It's gonna help improve public order anyway.
We hunger for battle. Commander.
Okay. You know, honestly, I think we're good to go. We've done all the upgrades that we have to do. We're not going to attack on this side just yet. We've recruited whatever we can for this army. It appears to me that we are definitely good to go at this point. Now, what else can I do here? Ephasos, yeah, we're to ally Pergamon.
Such an
Absolutely are willing to trade with
Greeks
them.
are...
In Serbs, we're at war with.
Greetings, honored guest. I
Do want
serve
a
as my
non-aggression
people's ears
pact.
and tongue.
With
You
Massalia.
speak with wisdom and grace.
Perfect.
Your words bring satisfaction.
What about
to
a defensive
gods
alliance
and
of
to my
some
people.
sort?
You have
I'm
wisdom
absolutely
indeed.
willing to contemplate such a thing. Well, it appears that with a larger bribe, they'll accept it. I just haven't really met their price just yet. But unfortunately, Rhodes, it doesn't really seem like they're really much of anything anymore. And I am afraid that Ptolemy is about to pounce upon Pergamon with a vengeance. In fact, these guys are actually really unhappy with us. Unfortunate.
Well met, friend. Sit and let your word. I will take word of our agreement and put it before my people. They will feast in.
Okay. Score Diki, at least they're willing to entertain greater relations with us.
I welcome you, worthy speaker. I
And
listen
yeah, when
because
it comes
your people are
to
known to have
the
honor.
Scythians, I do think that it's going to be a little bit more challenging,
man
but it
is
seems
just
like we're
by
not
his
very
friends.
hostile, so
This is not the time for
so
such
like
an agreement.
alright. And let's go ahead and send this navy to a better place to recuperate. Actually have the men I can spare. Ooh, Roma develops greater. Oh, actually I wasn't supposed to do that. Anyway, it's alright. These agents are just a little bit extra. There we have it. The Romans are scrambling, trying to expand in some way. Perhaps they've tired of our stagnant holding. Yet we still have plenty of troops along our border, and we could spring into action at an instant. So I don't know why they're so cocksure and heading south. It appears to be their destination. Back towards Africa, where their longtime enemy in Carthage continues to cause them trouble.
Have not on
No, definitely not gonna go and do any alliances with these guys. But what we can do is go towards Medhalan and attack what was once not an ally, but at the very least a non-aggressive faction. Don't even know how best to describe it. A faction I was indifferent to, really. Okay, heroes come back. Still not enough gravitas. That's quite interesting. Is there anything that will increase for gravitas over time without me having to do anything? 40 and cunning. 40. Cunning. Zeal. Gravitas. Okay. Look at some gravitas. It was at the exchange of some fertility, but whatever. And we'll go ahead and have these two armies march over my allies' territory towards Medhalan. There definitely are still threats in Africa to us, but the Romans don't really seem to be doing that good of a job at taking over the place. Allow my army to rest for a little bit. Bring this force back to Pella, where we can recruit some more men. Eugeni's population is considerable in Pella, but not like endless. You need to be wary of recruiting too many men. We already have 4. Levies Ejima. Let's go get a 5th. And then at this point, think we'll just get another peltist.
At your command. March. Ready for further orders.
Go ahead at this point and just kind of have my men form up a little bit forward. There we go, we've moved some men around.
It is an honor to serve.
All right. Let us continue. Oh! The Bosphorine Kingdom makes a resurgence back into the area of the Bosphorus. Honestly, I'm surprised because they have been curtailed in their strength. They have been beaten again and again by the Scythians, yet to return. It's rather rare, but well, there you see why.
Your wisdom.
They were swatted aside like a bug. Taught a lesson,
You'll
but they will never forget. And ooh, the Insurbs are getting challenged here. Oh, we'll see what's about to move into our northern border, but Anaphasos is a new type of faction now. Or is this Sardis? Oh, nothing.
For the sake
Nothing
of
that
friendship
troubles
that is-
me. Could go trade with the broken husk that is the Seleucid Empire, but why even bother? It's a corpse of an empire at this point. Yeah, let's bring my navy back into the fray here. We've recovered enough sailors over in Greece. Over here in the north. Now, who are the Lusitani in this campaign? Allies of the Massilians, whom we have agreements with, and the Oski, whom we do not. The Oski being a kind of distant faction. Could trade with the
guards will
Lusitani,
have
and
me
it looks
listen
like
to
they'd
you,
like us to.
but do not pass the day in words.
I mean, honestly,
I will take word of our agreement. and
I
put it
am
before
very
my
much
people.
willing to have a non-aggression
They will
pact,
feast.
and these seem similar. We're
This
slightly more
agreement is
powerful
like
than
a
them,
feast.
so
This agreement is like
there we go.
wisdom and strength. Together in the service of our people, we have agreed.
Okay, with all of these agreements signed, let's have these armies head back. Although this army actually might very well. Never mind. I was about to say that they're gonna fail, but Menhalan has virtually no defenders left. So no, we'll just have these armies return, and we can improve our public order slightly as they march back for Roman territory. Let's see, let's do a Hellenic colony. I quite like the prospect of this settlement over here, dominating Magna Graecia, an empowered Taras. Meanwhile, we could definitely go and start to move in on Roman possessions in Sicily itself.
At your command. March. Ready for orders. Once. Is that all?
And yeah, we'll just wait like one more turn to move. Do at this point want to start exploring what could be over in Roman Africa. Yeah, next turn we'll finally kind of turn the page, and you know what, Panormus.
I am eager to hear your embassy.
I mean, I could go ahead, destroy the Romans over here, and then just kind of peace out. Like, I could just make a bunch of allies and have like a free Sicily, then sail towards Africa myself. Could very much do that. Sicily's not exactly a super valuable province in this game anyway. But for now, we'll just end the turn. Another turn spent, mostly administratively, but buildings continue to rise all across my empire. As our building projects finish left and right. Quite surprised to see Cameria resurge, but equally unsurprised to see them crushed within a turn. It's just a desperate play, really. Let's see what's about to happen here. Is anyone going to challenge the relative stability of my empire? See some positive signs for the Scordiki military as we're training their troops,
All
and
would surely
ooh.
benefit if we agreed to open trade.
Now
from
this is an
day on.
ally of the Lusitani, whom I'm allied to, and we're willing to pay me for a trade agreement. So I see no reason to not
As all
go
the
for this.
gods
With
look down
Pangoria,
on
on
us,
the other
they
hand,
too must wonder why we are not firmer allies.
looks like these guys have been reduced to nothing but a petulant little navy. So let's go ahead and refuse that. Okay, Medhalan is in the control of my ally. Fantastic. It's really the best thing that could have happened. Subjugate our foreign peoples, live in our territory, and ooh, we're here in Hellas. It looks like there's more banditry than there used to be. Bosphorus Kingdom are gone. Insurbs are gone. 2 of our enemies are gone. That's awesome. Okay, we'll have this army go and take on Syracuse. We'll have
None will escape. We take this settlement for glory and honor. None will escape.
You know what? We'll go to Apollonia here.
At your command. Reporting.
Go ahead, kind of load up onto these ships, and then within a turn we can maybe ship out here. Go ahead, send this agent into Africa here.
Someone seems to bar my passage.
Commander.
Now we're marching somewhat into Roman territory at this point. Not like extremely hard or anything, but we're pushing in. Yeah, I think that it's a good opportunity at this point to kind of hit the pause on continuing to, like, build too aggressively. Actually, you know what? As long as things don't extend banditry too much, then I can afford some of these upgrades, but the problem is that most of them do extend banditry by a little bit. Oh man, I didn't realize that the Scordiki had made quite a territory at this point.
My friend, be welcome. Esper.
Nice.
All praise to the god.
We do have a defensive alliance at this point. That's good. And the Romans, okay. They send one of their roving armies into Africa, the other one they kind of keep back. But you know what? I have a feeling that next turn is going to be the last of this episode. We're going to have a couple of battles with the Romans over Sicily and see whether we can take it. My empire has definitely grown stronger in the process, which I'm quite happy about. I'm quite happy at where we are. We have some pretty solid industrial provinces, some very good agricultural provinces. Just in general, things are looking quite good and smart for us as a expanding empire. But at the same time, we do need to kind of chill out a
As all
bit.
the gods look down on us, they too must wonder why we are not.
Now we'll just continue to build up our alliance structure, just continue to layer agreements upon each other. We have full control of several provinces if we want, so we can afford to have these alliance structures, even if we do kind of confine the way that we can expand.
You have recruited so many units, the treasury is
Oh,
buckling
that's a
under
lie.
the weight
Just
of their upkeep.
fortunately, we had some banditry stuff that made our income really low before. Alright, so it's Ptolemy, makes sense. Okay. Makes sense what's going on. Quite a typical turn. In any case, let's see whether this navy is capable of making its way across the Mediterranean into Africa. And yeah, Africa is quite strongly in the possession of Rome at this point.
Ready for orders. Ready for battle.
You know, Syracuse, we can just continue to besiege.
Ready for...
It's gonna be Acris that I want to obliterate here.
We hunt.
We'll play out this battle at the very end of our turn. Otherwise, we'll just keep kind of our spy in check. Check out these. RBs are... I think we're gonna have to send them back to Macedonia at some point. Let's have them beat a home front army. Yeah, we'll just kind of wait a couple of turns for all of the upgrades I'd pay for to hit. It's kind of too hard to predict what's gonna happen long term otherwise, and yeah, we'll go send a spy around. Who has an upgrade? I guess nobody. Anyway.
Besieging the settlement.
Let's go ahead and fight this. This isn't a super strong Roman army. I do like the Principes that they have. I do like the Triari. The Syracusan swordsmen here aren't bad. These Sicilian sellswords are pretty decent for a well-armored sword unit. But like overwhelmingly, like these troops are early game, and they're not like elite. They're just kind of middle tier. Principes are of course strong, but this army doesn't have very experienced troops in general. And just in general, my units are going to be way better, so I don't really care. Just combined elite army of my cake. I mean, look at these veteran hoplites from Hellas, man. They look like the Thebans who fought at Leuctra. They just look like what hoplites should be. Just good shit hoplites. Elite Greek spearmen. And Thessalian cavalry, just fantastic units. Cretan archers for our skirmish corps. Agrianians for our infantry. Yes, this army is a bit early game. In fact, all of these units are early game, but I did spend a lot of money on this army, and it is still very elite, even at this point in my campaign, so it should obliterate this Roman army, especially once my reinforcements come in.
Confidence of leading you to victory today. Listen for orders, and all will be well.
Let's go ahead and kind of form up over here.
In service of the people. Marches. Double time.
Okay, I see a Roman general. I'm gonna go ahead and 1v1 him with my general, because it's cool too. I love doing that. And then let's go ahead and see where my other troops are. There they are. And we should start getting these guys close to the field. So we'll have them run forward. They are very far away, so it's not like we're going to participate in the battle anytime soon.
Shield pikes. Macedonians ready.
should kind of move my line up a little bit because I feel like my troops are gonna start to overlap against each other and, you know, other things that you really just don't want. Are the Romans like pushing out but over here? Because they're kind of doing something funky, but it's a little bit odd, it's a little bit strange. The general's met the enemy general in combat and he's just annihilating him. General hasn't lost a man, and well, it looks like this Roman tribune is about to be executed for his trouble of showing up here. Just fed to Macedonian elite cavalry. But yeah, the Romans are retreating, which, you know, fair enough. I'll allow them to pull off this maneuver purely because I just don't understand it. Don't really understand what the point is. Meanwhile, we can go ahead and do a maneuver of our own. Thessalians. These Romanized Thessalians, these traitors to Hellas. Oh, they just did a lot of damage against my elite hoplites. I don't like that. But they're not gonna like being entangled in this combat for too long. And a lot of them are getting caught on the way out. In fact, few Romanized Thessalians are gonna make it off the field, but they killed 25 of my brethren. Still a lot. I do not like what's going on here. Now, the enemy Terratid cavalry is right now being scrutinized quite intensely by my Cretan archers, who are just pouring shot into them, but they just don't seem to be dying in large enough numbers to make the arrows worthwhile. Enemy Thessalians are trying to come back for another charge, but these aren't European knights. They can't survive just roaming around a field. They're just gonna get pelted by javelins and all that type of stuff. Okay, it looks like my armies have basically joined up together, so why not have some sort of joint efforts? No. I do need to like have my hoplites in like a generally manageable formation, but oh god, I think that I just messed up big time. Oh god, most of my phalanxes are just kind of out there. You know what? I think I just have to charge forward and use my pikemen as like hoplites or as swordsmen right now. Even though it was definitely not the most effective way to use these troops. I have the enemy so damn outnumbered, but I just think it's a worthwhile endeavor here, and I'll qualify really just competed quality-wise too. Go and send our general off towards the settlement. We'll go send these Thessalians right behind the enemy. I mean, you guys could see how much damage one unit of Thessalians could do, and my Thessalians are just as good as the Romanized variant. In fact, I think that they're even better. Gonna go ahead and send our general through the settlement here.
Thessalian cavalry!
Well, it looks like our charge in amongst the enemy has, at the very least, made a couple of units quite upset. Setting up their route, we have some of our pikemen coming to the field from elsewhere on the battlefield.
Thessalian cavalry!
A lot of these Roman units that are in this battle just aren't as strong as my units, so while I think against like a properly equipped legion, my infantry would struggle when just charged in like this. Against, you know, this type of like Republican rabble, against a lot of just kind of local troops, it's not that bad. Like, the enemy Principes, they're killing more than they are getting killed. But at the same time, when you're getting completely outflanked, cavalry rove your rear, and like most of your allies have already died in the fighting earlier, like what else can you really do, right? And well, at this point, the enemy just doesn't have enough troops to keep on fighting. It's just inevitable that defeat is certain. And well, the Romans lose another one of their few precious settlements. Now, I thought about this, and I am just going to go and liberate Sicily. I don't want to have this land masses floating at the extreme southern tip of my empire. I don't want to have to deal with it. Because I just liberate it and see what Greek or Phoenician faction pops up. But of course, sacking the city first is essential.
Let them cower like kenneled dogs!
And afterwards we shall gut the remaining Roman defenders and liberate the settlement.
For battle!
Ooh. Let's see.
Commander,
Is this my faction leader? Yes, it is. +5 empire maintenance is crazy. Ooh, plus experience gain and morale for cavalry units. It seems pretty solid.
ready for orders!
And then this army can go ahead and turn around. And you know what? We'll go ahead and play the battle for Syracuse at the beginning of the next episode. I think that now is a great time to lead the battlefield. But I've basically done the entirety of this turn, with the exception of, well, you know, considering some city upgrades. But you know what? I did decide that I wanted to, like, wait a couple of turns just for all of my current construction projects to finish, just to see how much food I have across my empire. So yeah, let's wait 3 turns before I commission anything else, at least. But yeah. So far, so good. It really is just Syracuse, the Battle of Syracuse to play for, and what type of faction is this? Ooh, it's a Greek faction. I like it. But in any case, guys, thanks so much for watching this episode. Absolutely love playing this campaign. And yeah, I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.